say no, the more she say yes. The more that I know, the more I say less. The more that I grow, the more that they test. And I know, but the more that I know, the more I say less. Surrounded by no dreams and bad habits. The happenings and not mastering my mathematics. You heard what happened to homie, yeah, well that's tragic. 8 out of 10 of us savages, yeah that's average. The aftermath, mad drastic. So talk shit and actually get your ass kicked. I'm that classic. I'm like a father to these rap bastards. I beg his pardon, depart them in an orderly fashion. Not your ordinary hustler, that's more than just trapping. I'm escaping these mental cages they want me trapped in. A new shipment is in and I'm the captain. Let's crack this bitch open to get it cracking. But I don't know nothing, go ahead and ask him. The only thing I say to a cop is I don't know what happened. He ain't have no evidence, but you thought he did. Started running your mouth and caught a beard, let me say less. It's like, the more I say no, the more she say yes. The more that I know, that's right. The more that I know, the more I say less. It's like, the more that I grow, the more that they test. And I know, but the more that I know, the more I say less. They say actions speak louder than words, baby, and I'm gonna show. Surrounded by dope fiends and crack addicts. In my hood, you only as good as your last package. Stealth moves got me sitting on hella well. I only deal with top shelf shit that sell itself. Don't put in work unless it's worth it. Too many niggas riding behind hearses to get their last words in. They act like they ride or die and put that work in. But as soon as it's time to ride, them niggas swerving. I seen it plenty for when that pressure's applied. I missed the no fucks given, I never complied. I know they talk shit just to get a reply. I get it, I'm fly, I'm with it, so try. I kill it, you die just cause you living a lie. Seen a lifestyle, I thought you could give it a try. Snitched on the kid that was giving you vibes. Got caught, started to talk, he wasn't taught to say less. It's like, the more I say no, the more she say yes. The more that's what I know. The more that I know, the more I say less. The more that I grow, the more that they test. But I know, but the more that I know, the more I say less. That's like, the more that I know, the more I say less. The more that I grow, the more that they test. But I know, but the more that I know, the more I say less.
Shut up. Shout out to Lord Akim. Shout out to everybody in the building. If you find yourself on Snotbox TV, that means 9 times out of 10, you have never been banned from this page, because this is fairly a new page. Some people probably are blocked, but for the most part, you have a new chance at life in my comment section. If you violate your new chance at life in this comment section, I will feel free to block you. I must block you, yes. Let me see. Mr. J Bird, what's up, bro? I finally caught the show on time. Yeah, man, I was a little late. A little half an hour late, but I wanted to keep my word and do what we do over here. It's time to start working this page over here. It's time to bring the crowd over here. and it's time for another epic live. It is what it is, man. Now let's get to let's get on topic, man, because we ain't gonna even draw this out. We ain't gonna draw this out. I'm not gonna be on live all night. I'm just gonna stick to the point, and it's simple. A lot of people ask me, "What's up? How you feel about Kamala Harris and Megan Thee Stallion?" Kamala Harris and Megan Thee Stallion. I remember a time growing up, right? I'm going to take you through the stages of growing up. There was a time where if you wore a mini skirt, you was considered freaky. There was a time where growing up, if you asked a female for a picture in her underwear and in her bra, you was asking for too much. It might have took you years. That had to be your girl to actually get a picture, to actually see a woman. We came from a era or a place of where women had more integrity. There was a time that Megan Thee Stallion would never ever be anywhere mentioned or part of the White House. So when you see Megan Thee Stallion running around, even though she wasn't naked, they fixed her up a little bit. She was on stage rapping with the mic, talking about how fat her putty cat is. And this black face became a representative of black people all over the world. Because this shit show that's going on in America is being witnessed all over the world. We are witnessing, I'm going to say this again because the live last night was epic. The energy was crazy. We are witnessing the LGBTQ community coming out in full force like a magnet with a gravitational pull for our children. They can't have their own children. Their main focus is to destroy man, woman, and child and convert them the same way you watch The Matrix and you see Agent Smith stick his hands into the opponent and then turn them into Agent Smith. This is what's going on. There is a recruiting of grown people targeting our children. Whatever you want to be and whatever you want to do in your house is your business. But there are a group of people, they don't want to be male on male and female on female doing their thing as they could. If that's what you want to do, that's your business. You do what you do and you keep what you do in your bedroom. But evil is spilling over into the streets, into the Board of Education. So now we get to watch the Olympics and scenes, nasty, ugly, wicked, evil scenes of grown men with their balls hanging out, with little children surrounded by them. As the crowd cheers on, you got grown men with their balls hanging out with our babies around them. You have the Olympics dedicated to Zeus, who is the Shaitan. And our children, the youth, being recruited to perform at Satan's house in Satan's arena. Which then of the favors of your Lord will you deny? We are living in a time, you ever heard the saying, pick a side? Evil is showing its face. Even evil is coming out to play. You want to play? Evil is coming out to play. You have to pick a side. Evil is showing you who they worship. Sublimity, they're showing you the four horsemen of the apocalypse. In the mail is letters of drafts already coming out to children. Our children are being recruited to be on the front line to fight for something that does not have nothing to do with nothing and nothing and nothing. Our babies, and when you read the letter, if you don't answer this call to go out to war, you are subjected, shut up, to jail. And if you don't go to jail, you are subjected to jail or a $500,000 fine to go overseas and face one of the most evil armies that you ever going to face. The ink has dried. The pen has been lifted. And the trumpet, boom, 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 the trumpet is blown. Which then of the favors of your Lord will you deny? We are witnessing things in this world like that we have never, ever, ever seen in our time. But we are also witnessing prophecies being fulfilled. Mentally, we have to prepare ourselves for things that we have never seen. It may come a time, like in Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot told his wife not to look back, but she looked back anyway and turned to stone. And now you can see in certain places in the world, giants that has been, I don't know what word to use, but you can see them looking like stone, a fossil. And people are asking, well, what is this? No, they froze in their place and have been turned into fossil in their place. And when you go through and you travel the earth, you are witnessing history, or rather the past, right in front of your faces. You can go back and you can find underground cities, even in America. What's the mystery around Antarctica? When that unfreeze, what is going to come up under this earth? When the poles shift, what would we see in front of us? What we are witnessing is evil coming out of hiding. What we are witnessing is the earth giving birth to labor pains. Earthquakes, tsunamis, dolphins, whales, fish jumping out of the ocean, birds falling out of the skies, righteous people becoming unrighteous, the young dying early, evil spreading, ignorance is a bliss, people being dumber than a doorknob, even though we living in the age of technology. Please don't take this live down, Haas. Need to hear this in my truck tomorrow. You know what? I can't really even promise y'all anything, because the things that's happening to my pages and the level of attacks that's going on is just is wicked. But it is what it is. The show must go on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know or are coming over looking to see if we in this live, and the numbers is going to be muffled. There's somebody that's behind the scenes at YouTube. As soon as I do a live, my live goes into the gold. By the time they put it in the green that I appeal it, they pretty much playing with my money, but it is what it is. This is why I say thank you for sponsoring this war. I can't keep on complaining about what's happening on their stage. This is their house. Monty 312, shake 'em till you wake 'em highs. Only the one on YouTube giving the knowledge. Thank you, King. Thank you, family. Thank you for sponsoring this war. Appreciate you, family. Man, I seen that they got the live off the net ASAP. Of course they did. It ain't they got it off. You know, Math got it off. This is his thing. This is his tactics. This is how he fighting. And then he got the nerve to get on YouTube with smiles on his face. Like, how could you smile after you done dishonored yourself all over the internet? You dishonored your woman all over the internet. You know what I mean? You decide you have no integrity, and you think that nobody can see that, beefing back and forth and getting on the internet talking shit like nigga. You already used the courts. It ain't nothing for me to talk about. It's time for me to fall back. On top of the fact that it's like I told y'all. It's time not to be distracted, because the reality of it is now we living in the signs of the times. We have witness jails. We have witness jails. We have people in authority that bear witness that the people that came home from jails in other countries have been released in our communities. So now when you go back to the movies that's been put out back in the days, when you listen to the titles, Escape from New York. Yeah, just think about that title. Look at the places where these people have been placed. Look at the places. I mean, look at the men, the amounts of men that came over to America without women. You came into our country without women. What was the purpose of them allowing you in the country without women? In order to leave the country, in order to get on a cruise, in order to get on a plane, you have to go through customs. You have to go through dogs. You have to go through security. You have to go through metal detectors. But the people in power that's running this country, up and out of nowhere, just opened up our borders and let evil into our communities. Playtime is over. We can't be focused on the ignorance. We can't be distracted. See, in the days of Rome, I told y'all this 1,000 times over, and I'm going to keep on preaching this. In the days of Rome, they used the gladiators, the clashings of the swords, to keep us distracted while they was making rules and hiding knowledge and erasing history so that we can't get back in position. And see, these people that's in power, they've been in power for a long time. You vote, and your vote doesn't mean nothing. This voting thing is so BS that it ain't even funny. Presidents don't even have power. The president doesn't have any power at all. You think that they're gonna actually allow you to vote? And you beat them in an election, and that gives you access, we the people, access to their nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs, the technology that they're building every day. You think they're going to hand that power over? You think that you're going to vote and your political party that you running with is going to give you access to the gold in Fort Knox that then disappeared? The gold that they done took from Gaddafi in that war in Libya? You think that they're going to let you vote, and your vote going to give you control over the gold and the oil that's coming out of the earth and the diamonds? Do you really think that your vote is going to be allowed to transition to where that you have the power, the control, what these thieves been stealing from the beginning of time? You really believe that? I don't. What you are seeing is the battle of puppets. See, what you need to start paying attention to is the budget, where the money is going. What you need to start paying attention to is the fact that if the cost of living keep going up, maybe we should start teaching our children to invest in land instead of investing in ignorance, instead of trying to invest in impressing each other. Because the reality of it is most of us is tired. We waking up tired. Why do you think you waking up tired? Because your food don't have any nutrients in it. You waking up tired because you breathing in poison. When you brush your teeth, you swallowing poison. When you drink your water, your body is being filled with fluoride. Why do you think that you're tired? Can't spend time with your kids because you got to constantly keep chasing the dollar. Once you stop chasing the dollar, your bills gonna pay. Is gonna pile up. Now, when you decide to be a pro at welfare, okay, now you subjected to living in the hood where your neighbors is knocking off your neighbors, why babies is killing our babies, where dudes feel comfortable selling crack and coke and dope, and you could get anything and everything illegal right next door. That's the price of being on welfare. You could go in the store, buy all the food that your welfare allows you to buy, maybe even get some hot sandwiches if you want to, but you got to stay in poverty and pain forever. Reduce your children to people to stay around people that ain't shit and ain't gonna never be shit. I said it last night and I'm gonna say it again. You got niggas that got money that won't leave the hood because if they ever fall off their feet, they can look at your mother, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your sister, your brother, and sell them something illegal that will enslave their body mentally, break them down, and have family members crying, looking at them in shame and disgust. That's why they take so much pride in the hood, because only people in the hood will let you move in next door and sell some shit that'll destroy your whole family and have the kids in foster care. Welcome to the hood. That's why these niggas don't leave the hood. Like I said, when I go back to Bronx River, I plan on going back to Bronx River with some book bags, with a coat, something to help the next generation. I don't plan on going to Bronx River, standing in front of the store, peeping out the neighborhood, seeing who's still getting high, and trying to figure out how many bricks I could sell in the hood. How many bricks I could sell in the bricks. Nah. Them days is over. Haas, last night was a classic. You got punched Mav Diddy. He couldn't take the heat. The struck was worth it. Are you not entertained? I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm not giving that dude no more energy because all he doing is sitting up there being calculated, calling lawyers, and listening to every single word. And because he know that he was watching my live and he seen me do a short live, so now that I can come over here and build up Snotbox TV, I guess he decided to go on his platform thinking that he's going to hold some weight. But nah, no. Consistency pays off. Peace, Haas. The world is a stage. Pray and repent. Yes, the world is a stage. Sometimes you got to disconnect, but you definitely got to pay attention. Because like I said, in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, you can't look back. One day you might wake up and an alarm system might be going off. Remember, they set up the emergency alarm system. This is a test. This is a broadcast. This is a test. If this was an emergency, it would be followed by XYZ. Y'all heard this. Y'all seen this. The last few years that we've been living has been a test. The last few years that we've been living, that we have been seeing, now we are watching, like with the female that was just recently killed inside her house with the hot boiling water. Do you not realize that this is a test? You are being tested. They're watching. They're playing with your emotions. They're trying to wake up Black Lives Matter all over again and make you feel like you need the same people that ran off with $90 million. Do you not see the game? Corinne Steffen and all of the rest of the people that went through the same cycle. Do you not see the game? With them playing musical chairs with your emotions, the people in power is evil. And they calculated and they want you to stay in a state of ignorance so they can stay in a state of power. The earth is getting ready to go through a cleansing. The earth has a heartbeat. The black community has a heartbeat, but we are on life support. It doesn't matter if you got a dude like Diddy and Bill Cosby that's on top. What they eat don't make you shit. They're not feeding us as a people. And we're not even trying to feed ourselves as a whole. We shouldn't have to wait for the second coming of Christ to make it to the promised land. I don't think y'all understand. For those of y'all that believe in the second coming of Jesus Christ, you got to understand something. When he come back, it's going to be swords and shields. It's going to be beef on the front line. You think it's going to be all sweet and talking? No, it's not going to be no talking. My question to you is, all you spiritual warriors out there who believe in the afterlife, who believe in the prophets, what are you doing to make his return safe? You got to ask yourself a question. What kind of people are we dealing with when they got submarines with weapons of mass destruction on them underneath the ocean? When we heard rumors of them having space stations in the sky. Space stations in the sky with weapons of mass destruction. We done watch these people drop bombs like Hiroshima. What do you think they keep gripping up for? Again, when you watch the news or you just go outside in your neighborhood, now you seeing faces that came up over the border. They babies is getting ready to have war with your babies. And you know what's crazy? I'm going to be real. Shout out to all the Latinos, the Mexicans, the Dominicans, and everything else. But black people in America don't realize when a lot of these other people position themselves in power in the streets, even the penitentiary, the Bloods might have it on lockdown in New York for right now. But when these babies that came over the border start having babies, living in poverty and pain, and they end up filling up them penitentiaries, black people about to start having it hard all over again in them jails. And this time you might not ever have another, OG Mac. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. We riding with you, Haas. Tapped in. Shout out to you, Grown Man Business TV. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, I was trying to go to my big page and release everybody that was blocked on my big page, but I was having a problem doing that because I don't be going live from a laptop. I got to invest in a laptop. I don't even have a laptop. I be running circles around niggas with a cell phone. So, yeah, you know, everybody that I might have had blocked for whatever reason, whatever the case may be, I ain't your enemy. You ain't my enemy. You know what I mean? We got to start really, really, really riding for each other. We can't be sabotaging ourselves on YouTube. We can't be sabotaging each other on YouTube. We can't do that. These people allowed us to eat on a digital plantation. They let us get a plate on a digital plantation and we trying to sabotage each other. That shit is amazing. We jealous of each other. We fighting for the master. We fighting for the love of the colonizer. We actually sitting up there fighting in front of Christopher Columbus. Like, nah. And shout out to my white people out there. I just refuse not to live in the real world. I see things for what it is and not what it appear to be. You can't just pull a wool over my eye. See, the reason why I sit up there and I say pay attention to your circle before we hurt you, before they hurt you, is because I know that people are snakes and fakes, but at the same time, you got to give a person a chance. So when I meet you, I leave the rope around your neck. It's on you to hang yourself. It's simple. I'll leave the rope around your neck. It's on you to hang yourself. I'm the type of nigga, you'll come ask me for some money. I'll give it to you. Then watch to see if you're going to pay me back. Some niggas will dip out with my money, won't call me to bring my money back, not even realizing that I don't really lend out money like that. If I gave you the money 9 times out of 10, I wasn't even looking to get it back. But it's the principle. When I give you the money and you tell me you're going to give it back, you know how many people called me like, yo, come get the money, and I hung up the phone on them? Yo, I got it. Hung up the phone on them. Nah, that's yours. But nothing pisses me off than somebody that takes money from you and get arrogant, start posting up, start distancing themselves. They shopping on the internet, hanging out at the bar and all that. And know that they had the nerve enough to ask you for rent money. That ain't a little bit of money. You ain't asking me for $50 and $60, nigga. You asked me for rent money, mortgage money. It ain't gonna disappear. That's why I say I leave the rope around your neck. It's on you to hang yourself. Growing your own food, even in 5-gallon buckets, is worth it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sometimes, even if you got to go out, you got to go outside. Most projects, most tenement buildings have grass right outside. If you got to sit up there and you have to put you a little patch, slowly but surely, if you got food in your house, rather vegetables in your house or fruits in your house that have seeds in them, go to YouTube and watch a video to learn how to use that seed to grow that seed into a plant. And plant that shit outside in your neighborhood. Start creating patches outside in your neighborhood. Find a water hole. Start watering that stuff outside in your neighborhood. Y'all don't pay no water bills most of the time in the tenement buildings, in the projects. Because I'm telling you something. We are on the brink of World War III, and there's nothing like not having nothing to eat. Farms are being closed down strategically. Farmland is being bought by China, the same country we are on the brink of World War III with, China and Russia. These people own a significant amount of land. Bill Gates is buying up the farmland. China is buying up the farmland. You have to get yourself prepared. Do y'all see how China treats its own people? Could you imagine China taking over America? When you read the scriptures, and I know some of y'all don't believe in God, but prophecies are being fulfilled. Have you ever heard of the Gog and Magog? When the Gog and Magog is released, some people believe that the Gog and Magog is not human. Maybe it's the Anunnaki. And some people believe that the Gog and Magog is China and Russia. Please believe, what y'all better understand is that when the Euphrates River dries up, which is prophecies, it's drying up right now. They said that the biggest army in the world that the world has ever seen is going to be released. Do you understand that that biggest army is China? China has the biggest population of people in the world. Do y'all understand that? China has the biggest army in the world. So prophecies is being fulfilled. And at the same time, you sitting up there watching, I'm seeing little clips, because I don't watch the Olympics. I'm sorry, but I'm seeing little clips, and thank you to the people that's on, my own Instagram, my IG, that's following me. Do y'all see how they say the Euphrates River, under the Euphrates River, when the Euphrates River dries up, underneath the water is a prison with supreme beings underneath that river. Once that water dries up, evil is going to be unleashed up under the earth. Over 1,400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, predicted that when the Euphrates River dries up, that there will be a mountain of gold over there under that river. Google right now how people over there are fighting over that mountain of gold. The mountain of gold has shown already. The mountain of gold has already came out of the earth. Y'all got to start paying attention to what these wars are really about. When Trump sat up there, he said We are preparing, or rather Christians, all we asking y'all for is this one vote. 4 more years, y'all don't have to vote no more. What is he saying? There is a dictatorship coming. Satan is ready to take a seat on his throne. People are openly worshiping the devil. In a time where you practice certain practices, they will set you on fire. Back in the days. Now, evil is being celebrated while the righteous people are in hiding. That's why y'all always hear me talking about that 501c3. Whoever pays you controls you. This is why you don't see them pastors coming outside while our children are running around on demon time. Mama used to pray for me. I feel sorry for these kids now. They go into prison on a boatload and don't nobody care. And by the time they hit that court building and the judge is ruling and doing procedures over them, the mother's crying, it's too late. By then it's too late. When you sit back and you analyze the state of America and the fact that we have celebrities representing us while we on the brink of World War III, we watching this nasty heifer perform. She's shaking her ass and twerking. And that's supposed to influence us as a people, our woman, to get behind Kamala Harris and Megan Thee Stallion. 2 black chicks that got something in common. You know what they got in common? They both done locked a black man up. They both done put the black man in jail. I'd rather eat shit out of a toilet before I wrote for Kamala Harris. And what makes me say that with authority is the fact that you just insulted my intelligence by putting that nappy head chick on TV and making her twerk for our daughters to see. Where's the integrity at? Kamala Harris went and got a hood booker, put her on a stage to twerk in a half-ass suit to influence our children. Shut up. We in trouble. We in trouble. Summertime ain't even halfway over yet. The streets of Black America, like I said, during the pandemic, we became the pandemic within the pandemic. And the scary part about it is like I say, get right or get left. Because I'm telling you right now, some of us going to go to sleep and wake up in the afterlife because one of these cowards, they're already on the break, knocking each other off. Trump just survived the assassination, whether it was staged or not, we don't know. We just know something just ain't right. But I'm going to tell you something else, though. Now overseas, whoever that man was, that was somebody important, they just knocked him off. Everybody's gearing up for war. You're going to go to sleep and wake up in the afterlife. And when you go to sleep and you wake up in the afterlife, you better hope whenever they push that doomsday button before you laid your head down to sleep, you got right with your Lord. You better repent and get right with your Lord, because at the end of the day, some people believe that you're going to live life just doing whatever you want to do. and you're going to get away with the consequences. You don't get away with nothing. Everything that you do in this life is going to follow you to the afterlife. You better get ready, man. Evil is showing itself. Evil is setting is setting the dinner table, man. Evil is setting the dinner table. We used to have a saying coming out of the Bible and the Quran: honor your mother and your father, so that your days won't be short or shortened. Meaning that if you honored your mother and father, you'll live a long, prosperous life. Now you got TV shows dedicated to children killing their parents, parents pointing guns at their children. Then when you look at the news or you look at what's going on in the world, you start to see black children killing their parents. That's something that we don't do. Them other coaches do that. That's something that we never did. A dude to go outside and air out the whole block. Where I come from, I seen dudes air out the whole block, and as soon as they was finished, they mother chased them up and down the block with a stick trying to whoop they ass for what they did. And you see them running. They wouldn't even stand up to their mothers. This new shit that's going on is a new type of evil. That's why I don't even play with my kids. Like, soon as I even think that you're talking back to your mother, because the reality of it is as a man, if I pass away, have a heart attack or something like that, and I leave this world, I can't have my daughters thinking that they're going to be standing up to their mother because they seen this on TV. Let me tell you something, man. I can't blame the young generation for becoming savages because the older generation is still trying to chase their second childhood. The older generation is still living in the past, don't want to grow up, still on the block, still trying to rep their set instead of repping their family. Your family is your set. Your house is the first line of defense. Your number one priority is to raise children to be better than what the hell we was. Vote. Now, what you do is, we got to start playing the voting game. What we have to do as a people, being that America's a melting pot now, white, black, Chinese, whatever, we all have to come together and we have to create our own political party. We have to create our own political party, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this shit again because y'all need to understand this. Everybody black is not my brother. You understand that? Everybody black can't come with us. You thinking that, you know, like, we shall overcome. No, that's bullshit. Everybody can't come with us. You're going to create Noah's Ark, right? We're going to go to the promised land, right? And you're going to take the drug dealers over there? 2 for $5? Dope, coke, crack, you bringing them over there? When shit break out in this world and the world collapse, them niggas is never on the front line. When our children are being gunned down by the police and going through all types of police brutality, you never see real niggas out there handling their business. No, all you see is bullhorns coming out and marching. But then, when the people that had enough, the truckers, the train conductors, the bus drivers, the school teachers, the police officers, the regular civilians of life, when we decide that we had enough is enough, and we go carve out ourselves a piece of land to live better, to do better, you gonna have ignorant niggas with guns that's gonna come over there and say, "Oh, we gonna take over. We gonna take over with these suckers." Everybody black ain't my brother. You have to find like-minded people and move to the promised land with. Why would you let somebody in your house that God wouldn't let into paradise? Why would you let somebody into your house, into your kingdom, that is forbidden to make it into paradise? See, because when you read the scriptures, right, it is a blueprint. People be like, "Oh, I don't judge nobody." You a fool. That's the stupidest shit that I've ever heard in my life. Somebody said, "Please don't judge." You ever seen the movie The Book of Eli? When Denzel was walking through the streets and he seen the woman with the shopping cart in the middle of the road trying to get his attention. Then he smelled, because his senses were strong, and he could smell a niggas hiding behind the cars that was getting ready to set him up. You said, what? You don't judge? You okay? Turn your judgment off. Turn it off and see what happened to you when you go through certain places. Go ahead. Trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. Find yourself. It's like, yo, I was watching this video of this postal worker, right? That was working for not UPS, but the other one, Amazon. And she wanted to know why she couldn't go in certain towns. She felt some type of way. They told her, don't go in those towns. She felt like she was being mistreated. She took her dumb ass in those towns. And you know what towns? She didn't listen. You know what towns she ended up in? And she was lucky to get out alive? Let me see if you could guess it with her black ass. The sundown towns. She took herself into a sundown town and barely made it out. I don't want to hear nothing about people talk about, but don't be so judgmental. What? Being able to judge is your spidey senses, and it will keep you alive when you learn how to judge people and know who to stay away from and who not to stay away from. You go ahead, like Mayor Adams said, yeah, take the migrants into your house. You take them border jumpers in your house. Do you already see that there's stories of them moving in people's houses and turning their TV off, rocking their snot box, disconnecting their cable, aka sending them to the afterlife? You allowing people to come into your house that was released from penitentiaries. Now they in your community and they creating havoc. You telling me not to judge? You end up on the wrong block with the wrong one of them border jumpers walking behind you. You might find yourself with that belt around your neck, being dragged in between a car, being violated. Oh, you didn't see the news? Oh, don't be so judgmental. No, you don't be so judgmental. I'm going to stay judgmental. That's how I survive. My survival skills come with me being judgmental. When it's time for you to pack up and create, it's why I love sometimes when I'm doing these lives and I start talking about like The Walking Dead, right? You see how in that apocalyptic time when Rick got out the hospital and he found his family, and now it's a shortage of women, and his man fell in love with his wife and couldn't take the fact that Rick was back. He could have tried to find another woman, but no, he wanted that woman. And what happened? Him and Rick ended up going out in the woods. He tried to kill Rick for his wife, but Rick ended up killing him and going back home to his wife and kids. When there's no more police, because the world done turned upside down, when we on the brink of civil war, when the food trucks is not making it into your community because earthquakes, tsunamis, or World War III, and there's a shortage of food because you didn't stack up and get ready, because everything in this world told you to put some food away for emergency purposes, but you didn't. Your sneaker boxes go all the way up to the ceiling, but your food supply is limited. What you think gonna happen? You got a steak in your house? There's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to muffle your cabinets. You're gonna have to muffle your door. Because if you don't muffle your door, the smell of your food is gonna go under your door, into the staircases, out your windows, and you in there cooking a steak, and your next door neighbor ain't eating 3 days, what you think he gonna do? He might knock and ask nicely one time, can I have something to eat? But then when you realize you only got enough for you and your family, and you gotta start saying no, what you think gonna happen? When you got a steak and I didn't eat in 3 or 4 days, and I got children to feed, and my wife looking at me, and she telling you, go outside and be a man, and you can't find nothing else. Animals are purposely being killed off, birds falling out of the sky, the fish in the ocean is sick, but you got about 30 cans of canned good. What you think, the Walking Dead was a mistake? Nah, it was perfect timing to show you to get ready, or to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because when wicked times and evil times and apocalyptic times come upon you, you're going to see the softest person become the most dangerous person. In those times, it's all about your survival skill. It is what it is, man. I can't tell you how to survive. I can't even teach you how to survive because our situations might be different. I might end up somewhere where it's 90 degrees, where all I have to do is plant seeds and wait for those seeds to grow out of the earth. You might end up somewhere where it's 20 degrees outside and it's freezing, where you don't have no fruits and vegetables because nothing is going to grow under those temperatures. So now you got to learn how to hunt. And depending on where you at and looking at the laws that's being passed and the threats that's going back and forth between these evil rulers, where they talking about poisoning water supplies. So you may go fishing because you learned how to fish. And then when you reel that fish out of the ocean and you cook it and find yourself dead 2 days later because of the chemicals that you done put inside your body that came out of that fish. Do y'all know, with all these threats of EMPs, do you realize that when the power go out, some of our family members got bad hearts, they got pacemakers? When that EMP hit, you're going to see elderly people just drop dead like the rapture is coming. You're going to think God had something to do with it, but you ain't going to even realize that, nope, it wasn't God, it was an EMP. And they all just dropped. See, I could live in the dark when the power go out, but could I feed my family? Inquiring minds want to know. I mean, at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say about me, but as long as I got fire to boil water and clean my water, I might not have a well, but I have a pond. You think worst case scenario, I won't be drinking water out of that pond? I don't have to stack bottles of water up all over the place. Nigga, I got a pond. I got a 180-gallon fish tank. 3 days without water, you're dead. 3 days without water, you're dead. Kato, that's deep, but how it feels to hold. What? Nice and disrespectful. We over here celebrating the win. We over here moving on, because the reality of it is, I know it's a matter of time before they try to take that big page. I'm cool with that. If that's what it is, if that's what the universe holds for me, because I decided to go back and forth with evil, thinking that it was my friend being stupid, not paying attention to my circle before it hurt me. You live and you learn. Sometimes in life, learn from my mistake. You ain't gonna see me going back and forth no more with any more YouTubers, because the reality of it is, when you crush them, they're looking to backdoor you. When you say the wrong things, it's borderline bullying. That goes against YouTube rules and policies. I'm not playing this game with them dudes, and I'm not going to let them destroy me or distract me. When they can't destroy you, mentally they try to distract you to get you off your game. I told y'all, like Spartacus said, I haven't been myself lately, but I'm myself. Now we're going to get back to the message. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's a brief little live just to get us back into the algorithm on this channel. I think I'm going to start doing mornings on Snotbox TV. We're going to start turning it up. I really don't want to be too loud because I ain't put my dogs away. I got to put my dogs away. They barking, getting on my neighbors' nerves. I don't want my neighbors getting upset, you know, like, yo, we got to get up and go to work tomorrow, so I got to put my dogs away. And y'all stay tuned, because it's going to be a whole lot. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my Patreon. I got things that I'm about to put up on my Patreon that y'all going to want to see. I'm not going to announce it because I know I got the enemy watching, so make sure y'all subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com, Hassan Campbell, and make sure y'all go to my IG page, Snotbox TV. Subscribe to Snotbox TV. That's aligned with this channel right here. And we're going to keep it moving, because at least if y'all on Snotbox TV, I can post and let y'all know when we going live, because the notifications is not going to be sent out. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I'm out.